Hey, doll people. Editing Josh here. I'm here to welcome you to another episode of Community Spotlight. This week's guest is a friend of mine. His name is Steven. He's the most charming doll collector with the kinds of dolls that he fancies. Um, he and I have gotten pretty close over the years, and I think that you guys will really enjoy this conversation. I do want to mention that in this video, you will see a difference in lighting and even energy because we did take a sabbatical in the middle of this interview. It doesn't really bother any of the interview questions or even the topics, but I just want to let you guys know that we did that. Welcome, Steven. Okay, so before we get started with any questions or anything like that, I would like for you to introduce yourself to the doll people. I mean, I know you, but I don't know if they know you. Tell the people who you are.
Hi, I'm Steven. I also go by Misfit Toys on Instagram, and I also do have a YouTube channel. I don't really post regularly. I've been a doll collector since I was a kid. I started off with my Raggedy and Andy's, and then I met Josh, and we became really good friends.
So I love that you brought up your YouTube channel because that's the first question that I have for you. So the first question is, what prompted you to start your YouTube channel? Was it a good experience or a bad one?
Well, I kind of was just feeling lonely as a male doll collector and or a doll collector in general because I didn't know about the UFDC at the time. And I saw a bunch of other doll collectors on YouTube and especially male doll collectors. So I was like, well, this looked like a good place to, make a community and meet other doll collectors like myself, especially guys. So I wouldn't really feel so alone in this. Well, I mean, it worked out. I met a lot of people, a lot of nice people, built like a little community. Of course, my community is kind of more migrated to Instagram now, but I still do like watching my doll videos on YouTube, getting the latest news from in the doll community from YouTube.
See, I love that because I kind of went looking for people, not necessarily the same gender, although being male and a doll collector can sometimes be isolating. I went looking for somebody around my age because for a minute there it was like only old ladies, which I love me an old lady. I feel like I'm secretly turning into an old lady and I think it's the best shit in the world. But I was just like craving camaraderie from people around my own age, and that's the internet kind of led me to like places like Flickr and then eventually YouTube. Being that you've been doing YouTube for a minute and you've been a collector probably forever. Have you been a collector forever?
As long as I can remember, since I was a little kid.
See, I love
Uh,
that.
I mean, my mom was a doll collector, and she doesn't really collect dolls as much anymore, but she still has her dolls. Since most dolls are female, I would choose my favorites, and I'd call them my sisters because I wanted sisters.
That's so cute. So, since you've been collecting that long, I think I've also been collecting my whole life too. Like there was a portion of time where my grandmother, she didn't really call herself a doll collector, but she just like had dolls. She was also a crafter and stuff. So, and that's kind of how she connected with the dolls, like making crafts with the dolls. And then here I am. So dolls have been part of my world, just like yours. Being that we've been in the doll world this long, have you noticed any changes in the doll world, like the doll climate today versus the way it used to look in yesteryear? And do you feel like the changes are good or bad?
Back when I was a kid, doll collecting, there are a lot of differences and a lot of similarities. One is a lot of the doll collectors that I or doll catalogs and stuff that I remember going through as a kid, were mainly like artisan porcelain dolls. If it wasn't an antique or a vintage, it was artisan porcelain. My mom has a lot of artisan porcelain dolls that she's ordered, but she also was trying to reclaim her childhood. I remember our first doll show that we went to together. She was looking for dolls from her childhood, and she was especially trying to find this one Walker doll that she remembered that she had as a kid that she loved so much, her dad had to repair it multiple times until it wouldn't work anymore and it eventually got thrown out. And I remember seeing the joy on my own mom's face when we rounded the corner and there this doll was sitting on a table. She just lit up. And then we even found that doll's little sister, which was a small version of the same doll at a different table. She still has these two dolls today. It kind of sparked a connection between me and my mom, and I am also now trying to get dolls from my childhood that I either denied myself or just couldn't have. I think that's always going to be a part of doll collecting is people trying to get the doll, especially for adults, people trying to refine the dolls that they had and or wanted as a kid. Now, instead of artisan porcelain dolls, because porcelain dolls have kind of just gone, it's now collector dolls, stuff like vinyl and plastic Living Dead dolls or Monster High, even Playline dolls, 18-inch dolls,
Wait a minute.
18-inch dolls.
Wait a minute. Have you seen the leaked photos of the G3 Draculaura head that's like the size of the Frightfully Tall dolls? Have you seen that leak?
No, I have heard rumors that they were going to make another frightfully tall line, but I haven't seen any of the leaks. The last Monster High leak I saw was Gil.
Yeah, okay, so I'm excited for Gil, but I am just so excited for the Frightfully Tall G3 dolls if that's what's coming. I'm hoping that's what's coming because like this leaked photo was like an unpainted G3 Draculaura sculpt, and the head was just as big as a Frightfully Tall girl, and like Frightfully Tall would have to be hands down my favorite line, which is saying something because Monster High had some really good lines and they had some really good dolls, but it's the only like Draculaura from that line is the only Draculaura that I will not get rid of. It's my favorite. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt because I agree that one of the biggest changes has been, well, actually, no, that's one of the things that's remained the same. I think people are talking about it more, where people are trying to find their dolls that they either wanted or they couldn't have, or had and no longer have. I think the only drawback for that is the way that scalpers understand that and are trying to actively rob people because of it. Like, like dolls that we had when we were kids are so expensive now, especially if they're inbox or mint. It's it it's highway robbery as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, did you mention what you thought was good or bad about that phenomenon in the doll hobby?
I like how dolls today are more accessible and available. Of course, back when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. My mom was ordering most of her dolls through catalogs.
Do you remember Finger Hut and like QVC and shit?
I have heard of QVC, but I don't think I've heard of the other one. My mom mainly got magazines, and I would love going through them and looking at the pictures and stuff. And some of them were even in black and white, so it was still kind of up in the air what the doll would look like when you got it.
Oh my God. Do you remember? Okay, so speaking of magazines, magazine culture, I think, has just changed now because magazine nowadays will have like one of those little QR codes. They're expecting you to just use your phone camera because everybody's got a phone, and go to a website. But back in the day, you used to have like these little brochures in the magazines for you to purchase dolls. Like I'm not gonna get them out right now, but I've got like the Avon Barbie, Little Debbie Barbies. Those had to be ordered through like magazines from those little cards before like the internet.
I think Ashton Drake still does stuff like that, but of course, Ashton Drake has gone away from their porcelain dolls and they're now doing like reborn babies and stuff like that. Because I remember my grandma would get the soap opera magazines and
Mm,
stuff, and there would be those cards. It'd be like a little centerfold thing where it had the latest Ashton Drake doll, reborn baby, and it would have a card where you'd fill it out and, mail it in,
mm.
stuff like that. But now you can just go online and click, 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 click.
Speaking of Ashton Drake, I would love it if they would try reproducing Patty Play Pal again, but this time figure out where they went wrong with their first batch of repros. Because the reproductions I thought they were adorable. They felt like different dolls. They didn't feel like carbon copies of Peter and Patty Play Pal. They had a major defect. Like all of those dolls are balding now because the plastic is shrinking and it's chopping off the hair. So all of those all of those dolls are balding. Like finding one that's like half bald is considered good condition at this point. I mean, everybody is obviously they're fixing that defect by just wigging the dolls. But I would love it if they would give Patty Playpal and expand to Saucy. I would also love it if Ashton Drake tried to reproduce Blythe again. I know Blythe is ever popping off. Like Blythe has got a following, but I would love it if Integrity Toys got a hold to the Blythe license. That would be so much fun.
I do have an Ashton Drake reproduction of Blythe. I think it would be cool if they made more, if they put Blythe back into a playline situation, made her more affordable.
Hmm.
I know they go all out with the outfits and the stuff like that, but some people just can't afford like 150 to $200 for a doll. They don't even have to do the mechanism anymore. And now you can just literally push a button on some of them, like with the Monster High dolls that had the little push button where their eyes rolled.
Hmm.
So they could do something like that to make it a little more cheaper.
Yeah, like kind of how they did with the Littlest Pet Shop Blythe dolls. I mean, of course, Blythe has always had the little dolls, but the Littlest Pet Shop kind of took that and ran with it. I think those dolls are so cute, and I have been rebodying mine. I say rebodying, but really I've only rebodied two. I've only rebodied two, but I do think that they're adorable and they hit a spot. You know what? I think if Blythe were to become a playline toy, I feel like the people that handle LOL Surprise would have to pick it up because I think that's where she'd probably get her in the playline world. You know, like if those two brands work together, because then people will be like, oh, I guess it's like LOL Surprise as friends. Because I think the problem that Blythe had when she came out was that she scared the shit out of kids because her eyes changed and she had this huge head and stuff. We've
Yeah.
endeared we're endeared to all that shit now, and I feel like the LOL surprise line with them having big heads, with them being around the same height, um, and being a fashion brand already with big eyes and everything, I think she could really like weasel her way in. So as long as I've known you, I know that you absolutely adore Raggedy Ann and Andy. In fact, I think you're the only contemporary collector that I know that still loves these dolls as much as you do. So my question to you is, what's your favorite part about the world of Raggedy Ann and Andy?
Well, I mean, there is a large community of Raggedy Ann and Andy collectors, and for me, it's just I love a good cloth doll. They're just Raggedy Ann and Andy was just so readily available. I mean, you can find them in thrift stores or online. I mean, everywhere.
Mhm.
There's throughout many cultures, and now there is a form of a Raggedy Ann or Andy. I don't have really any of the other characters other than Raggedy Ann and Andy because there's a dog, there's the camel with wrinkled knees, there's so many other characters and from the books.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did know that there are books, but I actually found that out through you. So
But it's just the fact that they are readily available. And honestly, I just like the floppiness of them, the softness, the huggability, the smile. Some people find their blank-eyed stare kind of unnerving, but that to me sometimes it's endearing just looking at them, and sometimes they're not in the best condition but they're still smiling, and for me it's kind of motivation. It's because they're just like, it's okay, everything's going to be okay, just keep going. This is Knickerbocker, and this one is special to me because it was actually given to me by Miss Ann Picaro.
For real, I'm gonna interview her at some point. She's on the schedule. I'm so excited. Hold her up to the camera. Show the people. Show the doll people.
Now, as you can see, she has deflated and ripped leg. Her hair is, mm, and she actually has a music box in the back that no longer works.
I didn't know that they had music boxes, and
Hmm.
that is fascinating.
Raggedy and Andy has been through, let's see, 5 or 6 different companies
Oh,
since their creation. This is Knickerbocker, which was about 50s through, don't quote me on that, as my knowledge is a little, maybe 50s or 60s through the 70s. Licensing is now held by Applause.
right. I know applause.
Yeah. The thing is, even though she's not in the best shape, she still has this warm smile, and you look at her little button eyes that catch the light, and she still has so much life to her. And you just kind of just, it's just automatic. You kind of just want to sit here and just hug her, just chill, just kind of be there. Emotional support.
I love that. So your favorite part about the brand would be their emotional support. I love that.
Yeah.
I sort of feel like that about American Girl. They do that
Yeah.
for me.
I mean, they were born out of emotional support because he created these characters to tell his daughter stories while she was suffering from polio.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, she got a bad vaccine back in the day, and she did eventually pass away.
Oh,
But he created these characters to entertain her while she was sick.
and now that they've shared it with the world.
I'm not saying that the Raggedy and Andy brand isn't also controversial because they do have characters such as um a Mammy character.
Oh,
Yeah,
girl.
but she's more of a supportive character. Uh
Oh boy, I tell you, you can never go too deep into history in this country without reaching a little bit of racism.
yeah, yeah. But she is more of a supportive character, and I see her as a positive character overall. But there is still a little bit of contention because it is still a Mammy character.
Right, right. All right, so that's a perfect place to leave that conversation. So my next question, it might seem like a redundancy because I think I know the answer, but do you have a favorite doll brand at the moment?
Okay, at the moment, I am really kind of into my 18-inch dolls. American Girl is fine. American Girl is great, but they are a little overhyped for me. And I don't really live near an American Girl store, and I like to go out and find my dolls out in the wild. So, what is relatively available to me, especially secondhand, is our generation. Also, another 18-inch doll brand that I really like, which unfortunately they no longer make these dolls, is Madame Alexander.
Uh-huh.
And they handed their licensing for their dolls over to Walmart, as My Life As now. But before
That's why they look familiar. The
Mhm.
round faces. I always thought they looked so familiar, but could never. Like pinpointed. That makes perfect sense. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, Madame Alexander used to have the licensing to make the My Life As dolls, and then they sold it, which is why they do look familiar, but they also had a few other different sculpts as well. So every time I find a My Life As 18-inch doll, I tend to just snatch it up. If it, well, not just the My Life As, but mainly the Madame Alexander. If it has Madame Alexander on the back, I'm just like, okay.
All right, I'm gonna keep that in mind because when I go thrifting and I see some more, because they're always out here for some reason. I don't know if it's regional or something. It's probably regional. It's probably regional. But I always see Madame Alexander dolls in several different sizes, but the 18-inch dolls are popular out here. I'm gonna keep that in mind. They always in shit condition, but I feel like you can fix them up.
I am trying to learn how to restring them because one problem they have is the floppy neck because they have that vinyl torso.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the neck does get a little floppy. I
Mm-hmm.
have I have one doll that I name Regina. She has the floppy neck syndrome and I need to figure out how to fix that.
Go get Regina. We need to see Regina. Get Regina.
Oh Lord. Okay,
Just
hold on.
drag her ass out here. We need to see Regina.
This is Regina and boop.
See, that's the issue that I'm finding with all of the dolls that I'm seeing in the thrift stores and flea markets. Their necks are just floppy. Poor thing.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get her balanced and posed, she'll be okay. But as soon as you touch her, boop.
Now, you know what? The Tonner dolls have a similar um experience, but it's in the limbs. It's not so much in the neck peg. Have you tried doing a rubber band?
Well,
In my word.
I'm not too sure because as you can see, she's got a little bit of pull up,
Oh, it's like the mech is trying to come up out of the neck? Or
kind of. It's the string. I think it's just stretched way too
far.
much
Yeah.
for something like that to fix it. So yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to pop the seam in the back and see if I can replace the elastic because it is an elastic
I
that is holding
see.
it in.
Now you know that makes me wonder if it might be strung through the plastic portion in the body. Like maybe you've got to go through like get the stuffing out and go through the cloth into
Yeah,
that way you can kind of because the tension would ideally need to be pulled down,
yeah,
I'm thinking.
yeah. There is. I have taken apart a My Life As, and there is a mechanism that holds in the neck,
I see.
and then there's another mechanism that holds in the head, kind of like a washer kind of deal.
Right,
So
right. See, I knew at some point you were going to talk about 18-inch dolls. So I brought my newest acquisition, and you'd be proud of me because she was secondhand. She was secondhand though, because I wanted a Samantha. I've been rehabilitating some American Girl dolls sent to me by Nina, and I wanted a Samantha, but I decided I don't want a Samantha that's being made today because Pleasant Company dolls are a little chunkier. So I was like, so she's gonna have to be secondhand. And I lucked out with this doll. Like she's in perfect condition. Her hair has been cut, but not too much. It's fine. And she winks. She winks. I just think that is the most charmingest thing in the world. My little winky baby. She's so cute. Her limbs are crazy tight too. Like whoever had this doll, they took very good care. Her eye can open. It's just, it's fine. It's fine. She's so cute. But I put her in this shirt specifically. That's why I kept showing it to the camera up here because I'm like, he is so into our generation. So yeah, this girl was secondhand. I only paid $20 for this doll.
ooh,
I'm actually floored because every single one of my dolls outside of gifts have come from the store and they've all been at the time like that 116, 117 plus. Um, And that was just something that I was doing. Like, I love 18-inch dolls, I think, just as much as you do. It's just that I feel like if I let myself off the handle and I didn't have a focus, it would be a problem. So just collecting American Girl and the occasional other company 18-inch dolls, because some of them you can't just leave on the shelf. You got to bring them home. Um, but I love 18-inch dolls. They recapture like wonder for me.
Yeah.
So that would probably be my favorite brand at the moment. How do you prefer to display your dolls? And do you have like any collector shenanigans, tricks of the trade up your sleeve? So I'm gonna ask the question again for editing's sake. How do you prefer to display your dolls? And are there any kinds of collector tricks up your sleeve that people might not think of?
I I like open air shelves. I had a display case in my room, but I
Hmm.
recently, like literally last week, took it out because it did not encourage me to interact with my dolls.
I see.
And I have recently, actually, hold on, I can literally kind of pan over. Um, can I flip the camera over? No, okay, no, okay, okay, right there.
This is the new shelf that you put up
Yeah,
recently, right?
this is the new shelf. I'm still sorting them out and organizing, but as you can see, I kind of have like the a little bit of the oldest ones, the oldest dolls on top,
Hmm.
and then it's kind of going down to newer. Right here we have like Chatty Cathy's and plastic dolls and Tony dolls and um like the pull string talkers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have this step stool over here because I use it to go up and down. But I like this shelf because it's also deeper. So I can kind
Oh,
of like I can put more on there, sit them down and stuff like that.
how many dolls do you think is on the one shelf? Just ballpark. Because I'm looking and I'm like, that's more than 100 at least. Definitely. Definitely.
I would think on this shelf up here, probably close to almost 40.
Wow. See, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Because I'm also going to put like these smaller, because you get the smaller dolls like my little my little Polish dolls like these,
Hmm.
and you can sit them up front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So um, but normally I don't really like the newer shelves. I like prefer the older ones, solid wood, but
Hmm.
those are expensive and hard to find, so you make do with what you got. And also
Yeah.
going back to the 18-inch dolls, I have a second shelf just like this one that I have set up, and I've told you about this in the past that I'm going to turn into
A
like a dollhouse,
dollhouse. Yeah, I'm
an
so ready for
18-inch
that.
dollhouse. Yes. I need to I need to go get like foam board and stuff so I can start constructing the walls and like scrapbook sheets, the ones that kind of look like flooring and wallpaper and stuff like that. And I can start, I already have ideas. I kind of want to make the Disney Illy doll that I just got that I showed you. I want to make her, of course, a Disney girl. And I have like little Toy Story toys that I had from when I was a kid that
Oh my
are a
God.
good size that I could put in there. Like, Lord, can I actually get to those toys?
Do you feel like you would build the furniture and stuff for the diorama in the house? Or would you buy that stuff?
Well, I don't think I can find the Toy Story toys right now, but I already have like three beds. I have a few chairs. Of course, I have their wardrobe closet, but I'm thinking about taking that out. I have a bathtub. It's not the best. It's kind of, but it's cute and it's a
Hmm.
claw and it kind of resembles clawfoot tubs. So I'm thinking I might work with it.
I don't know how people feel about Walmart or the My Life as brand, but I have clocked a lot of little knickknack like that are right there in Walmart from the My Life as. Also, I don't know. I know people are boycotting Target. I don't know how people would get our generation without shopping at Target. I think that's the only official place you can get it unless you get it secondhand. But I used to love their diorama shit. Like when I
Yeah.
tell you it was like there was a picnic table and stuff that I regret not picking up when I was actively shopping at Target because I always told myself if I had enough space, I would love to have that for my AG dolls. And now I have the space, can't get it.
You can order stuff offline,
Hmm.
but I know you're not on Facebook much or at all really.
No, I don't have a Facebook anymore. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Secondhand though. Goodwillshop.com or
Hmm.
Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp
My
or
favorite has been Macari recently.
Macari. Yes.
That's where I got this girl from for $20.
You can find a lot of this stuff secondhand, no problem, and maybe even buy a few dolls to go with them
Hmm.
at the same time. Because especially about this time of year when it start to get the holidays, a lot of parents are like, "Okay, you about to get new toys. Let's see
Yeah.
what you don't play with anymore."
Yeah, people start
So we
purging. How do you feel about people just casually throwing dolls in the trash? Because that shit eats me up. I'm like, why would you throw this baby in the garbage? Like, it
Yeah.
eats me up. It makes me want to yell at people. I'm like, don't throw that damn doll in the garbage.
The thing is, my mom has actually been guilty of this.
Oh, no, really?
Yes, I've literally like dug through our trash to get it all out.
As you should. Dolls don't belong in the garbage.
Yeah.
Their boxes
Um,
belong in the garbage.
even as a kid, I remember my aunt brought over some cloth dolls that I don't know what they don't have any family significance to them. She was just like, "Here, take them." And my mom was like, "No, I don't want them." So she literally threw them in the trash. And when I saw that, I went out there and I capped them, and I still have those dolls today. I
Hmm.
still have those dolls. But also, and I've mentioned this girl here who is a Cabbage Patch Kid. She was given to me by my friend Mikey.
Hmm.
Um, he's a dear friend of mine, but they found her and a few other Cabbage Patch Kids and an Arthur doll, like Arthur the Anteater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stuff like that, and their storage. And they were just going to throw them away because they had been chewed on. As you can see, she's kind of missing some fingers, and her and a few others were chewed on by rats or whatever.
Hmm.
And he, knowing me, was like, "Hold on, let me ask if Steven wants these." And so he sent me a message, and I was like, "Yes, I'll take them." And
Exactly.
and it's funny because I did a lot of the repairs on these dolls back when Hurricane Helene came through and knocked our power out for like 5 days.
See, what is it about natural disasters and makes you dive deeper into your hobby? Because I started hand sewing a whole bunch of shit and then started sewing for myself when we lost our power here with the tornado. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just because you don't have any distractions. You have nothing else to do. So,
Yeah. And this dress is actually from a good friend, Jasmine, um, from Facebook. She has sent me so much doll clothes, and I'm like, I don't know who they're going to fit, but at least if I get a naked doll, I can just dig through there and see what will fit. And she's also a Cabbage Patch Kid collector as well. So
Speaking of clothing and shit, I've got to get your box to you. Like, I have got to get your, no, seriously, because it's still in the top of my, I have so much shit to ship out to people, and I need to get that stuff done before the holidays really hit in. But I have your box too. Like before the storm and everything, you remember I was sewing you stuff? That stuff is
yeah.
done. I do need to put closures on it. I'm so bad at putting closures on stuff. I do need to put closures on the things before I send them out, but I have got to get you your box.
Yeah, I have a box for you too with the baby face dolls still.
Mhm.
And
And
I'm just like,
speaking of the baby face dolls, just the other day I was looking at like collector pictures of Samantha, and I was like, damn, let me look at collector pictures for the babyface dolls. I'm so ready to get back into the babyface dolls. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I am so ready. Okay, so how has collecting enriched your life? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Has it been somewhere odd in between?
well, I mean, it went from me being a kid and being kind of an awkward and oddball. They were like my friends and they kept me company and they've always been there for me. And then I started learning about their history, their stories, the makers, the wars that they went through. And it even taught me a little bit about economics, even cause, the trends of dolls going through different economic times are pretty much positive. I mean, there have been some negatives, like, being kind of a bit of an outcast because I'm a male that collects dolls.
Yeah, I know that one.
And then there's the borderline hoarding.
I okay, okay. Listen, I don't have that problem. And the reason I don't have that problem is because I've repositioned the way that I think about this quote unquote hoarding. Okay. Because everybody is scared of it. Everybody is afraid. And I understand, like, that's actually a legit worry. I get it. But if you're gonna use it, and if like, let's say you're getting a whole bunch of supplies to make stuff, or you have dolls that really bring you joy, it's not hoarding anymore. It's collecting. Okay, it's not
Hmm.
hoarding anymore, but people worry about that one a lot.
Yeah, I sometimes just once or twice a year I have to sit down and be like, okay, what is no longer bringing me joy or bringing my interest? And I have to just go through things and I will start building up a little either yard sale or donate or just give away box. I
Hmm.
do the same thing with my plants too. Like I need to put a table out there and I'll just be free plants.
I've seen those before. Yeah. Okay, what's the latest doll that you brought home and why?
I think the latest one I brought home was Monster High G3 Claude. And I
Good
brought
doll.
him home because he went on clearance at Walmart. And
I heard that.
I was just like, oh, I've always liked the boy dolls in Monster High. It's very rare that they go on clearance. So I was like, this is the perfect time, and I'm trying to get the G3s when I can
Hmm.
because they are really pretty. I may not like the new storyline, but the dolls are really pretty, especially when I saw Caddy Noir and I saw her fuller figure, and I was
Hmm.
just like, that's a bad bitch.
Yep.
Excuse my language.
Yep. Yep.
But
No, no, we cuss over here. We cuss over here. Ain't no excuse, no, like, we cuss over here. People just gonna have to.
yeah, yeah.
But
So I'm trying to catch up on the
G
Monster High.
G3. Okay, so Draculaura is always going to be my number one. She's my favorite in the original lineup, and she's my favorite now. Out of all of the Monster High dolls that I had in the past, the Draculauras are the only ones that tend to stay, and they're the most saturated character in my Monster High collection. As it stands right now, I do not have a whole lot of G3. I've got a box Cat Noir because I'm gonna open her when I feel like it, because I feel like I want to paint her, but I'm not sure where I want to go with it. So she's here. I've got a couple Venus flytraps. Venus is so black girl coded and it brings me so much fucking joy. Oh my God. Like that is a when I tell you that is a black woman or girl. And I'm also really loving I got Laguna because I used to like Laguna a lot. Got her, repainted her, and then I felt like she wasn't mine. I don't know if that's the doll or if that was just what I did with it. But Draculaura, I got six of that bitch. Six. And it's because I love something about her being so pink and adorable, and they always dress her so nice. Like, that doesn't happen with me often because when it comes to dolls, specifically very themed dolls, like Monster High is a very themed line, you know? So when it comes to very themed dolls, I typically try and do something wild with them because it sparks creativity. But Dracula, the doll, I don't know about the character too much because I don't really follow the show, never really have. But the doll, like something about the way she's always designed, just kind of does it for me. It just does. Do you have any other hobbies, and how have they overlapped into like your doll hobby? Like, is doll collecting your main hobby?
Well, I also have a lot of houseplants. I wouldn't say I collect them, 'cause I don't want to collect a living thing. That's kind of weird. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
but I do have a lot of houseplants. They bring me joy
Hmm.
because I all of my friends are like fall and winter people, and
Hmm.
I am a spring and summer person. I like the lush green and the flowers, and so having houseplants helps me keep that even during the cold months and helps boost my serotonin, I guess you can say. How they interact is I love taking my dolls out into nature and taking pictures with them in nature. And I'll also use my houseplants as backdrop for photos.
Good backdrop because nothing is cuter than plants and dolls to me, other than food and dolls. So this question is pretty fun. I really like this one. I'm gonna ask you. So if you could have a doll from a book character, what character would it be and why?
Okay, there are kind of two. One, I know there is a doll of this, but I would like a in my head, I would like my own 18-inch doll of Anne of Green Gables.
Oh my God, good choice.
And the reason why is because that one TV show or Netflix show that I told you about that got canceled, Anne with an E.
Right.
And I really loved her character so much that I was like, oh my God, I would love to have a doll of her. And my second one is Mildred Hubble from The Worst Witch.
I'm not familiar.
The Worst Witch is a children's book,
Okay.
and it's kind of similar for those of y'all who are Harry Potter fans but want to distance yourself from J.K. Rowling. This is a good alternative because they also have a TV show, multiple different reboots. The
Okay.
Worst Witch is about a girl named Mildred Hubble who is the worst witch in her school.
So it's not worse as in her being awful, it's worse as in her skill is shit.
Yeah.
I love that.
A- And she's going on all these adventures where she ends up saving the school multiple times. Now,
Well, then
the
how is
they
she the worst? Then I mean, that seems like something that the best would do.
yeah. It is a children's book, but the first movie, which actually starred Tim Curry,
Oh, cool.
and if you I can't remember her name, but if you've watched The Craft, the girl
Hmm.
who goes crazy,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know
her
her name, but I do
as
know
a
what you're
child,
talking about.
her as a kid.
Nice.
She played Mildred, but back in the 80s, Tim Curry and her as a kid did the movie, and then there was a TV series in like the 90s, and then Netflix rebooted it for the 2000s.
Nice.
So there are you can watch the shows, you can read the kids' books, they're cute, and it's just something I've kind of used to fill the hole that that's kind of been left
from Harry
by
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Cool. All right. And that's where I think we're gonna leave it. Say bye to the doll people.
Bye.
This was
Thank you
so
for having
much
me.
fun. Listen, we're gonna have to do this again because I want to have a get together really quickly with a few doll collectors, and I kind of want us to have a slumber party and do this. So instead of it just being me and you, it would be me, you, and like a couple other people. I feel like it would be so much fucking fun. And how fun would it be for like people to watch that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right. So I'm gonna have you back on again. All right. Right. I want to take this time and thank Steven for doing this interview with me. He will be back. He will. He's been on the channel before and he will definitely be back. I also want to take this time and thank all of you. You guys know this, but I absolutely love this community. I think the dog community is filled with so many wonderful people, and it's also filled with a lot of comfort, which I feel like is very important recently. I would like to also share my favorite comment from last week's video. I want to remind all you guys to like and subscribe and share this video with other friends because I really want it to get some attention. And I want to let you guys know that even though things seem very bleak, we can find comfort in our doll rooms or corners or closet or drawer, wherever your dolls and hobbies lie. Find that comfort there. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Bye. He's out of focus. There he is. He's so cute. And he's just the cute. He's just the cutest thing.